I did a video where we talked about the Cheesecake Girl. Okay, we talked about the Cheesecake Factory girl and how she was upset and appalled. And this is how I'm not gonna say, yeah, this is how stupid I think overall society has gotten as a whole. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up so we can go through this list, okay? Because I took a look at this list right before I came up here and jumped on this live, and I was like, oh man, I would never have no dates in 2023 if I was single. Because hey, some of my top three places on this list are things that I would be like, hey, this is what we doing for our first date. Let's see. This is crazy. 28 places. This is 28 places. So this is okay. Some of them I agree with. We're gonna start from the wow, this actually made the news. Okay, we hold on. We might have to check out this video. Let's see. Let's see. Skip. All right, let's take a look at this video. Hold on. Let me go and get this video up because I find it interesting that I don't know. This apparently a list of women created this list of 28 places that they do not want to do, absolutely, undeniably, uh, that they do not want to do on a first date. So let me go ahead and get this. Let me get this. Let me get this list squared away. We're gonna remove that. I hope it was. I'm assuming it was single women who created the list. And like I said, if it's single women who created the list, I think that's crazy to not have a man but give out a list of places you don't want to go. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. I thought the whole point of a first date was getting to know somebody, so it should be something. I thought it should be something kind of light off the cuff. Like I don't know. Maybe hey, maybe your boy just old school in my way of thinking. But let me go and get this video pulled up so we can.
Social media platform X.
Uh, it's so weird calling Twitter X. All right, let's go and take a listen to see what this list of places is and who agree with what.
Unacceptable places to take a woman on a first date going viral on the social media platform X, formerly known, of course, as Twitter.
Yeah, it's leaving men stumped on where else they should take the woman. The first 6 places are popular restaurant franchise chains like Applebee's, Chili's,
I want my baby back.
Olive Garden, and the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, first of all, Olive Garden,
Yeah.
all you can eat breadsticks, salad soup. I mean, that's a value, Megan.
By the way,
What's wrong
producer
with that?
Fawaz, who made this list? Is this just going viral? Is it like on Reddit or
I
something?
like number
Okay,
seven,
okay.
your
Okay,
house.
so women waited. Okay, so includes Cheesecake Factory, all those. Any fast food chain.
Okay,
also,
Buffalo Wild
a
Wings.
big no.
That's a
I like
good
number
time, but
21
there's a good
too.
game
Movie
on.
night,
Other places
Netflix,
mentioned
Hulu, etc.
include
Your house.
movies, the gym, a bar for drinks, coffee, or ice cream dates and sporting events. Pretty much these women listed everything there is to do. Clubs and hookah lounges also made the list. It got many men up in arms, including ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith.
First of all, what the hell is wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? Ain't nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. Not only is there nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
All right, so yo, that's the list. I'm personally fond. I'm personally I'm personally fond of 7 and 21. Oh geez, this woman, sorry, but if you choose to spend a lot of money on your makeup, it is not your magic. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And she didn't go to the expensive place because she was late. That's the thing. Like, I don't think you could chastise them for taking you somewhere when y'all already missed the reservation because it was your fault. But yeah, I thought that list was hilarious. That list, hey, going all the way from number 28 down, you got sports event. I, I don't know if that's a place for a first date because I think the first date is the first date is somewhere where you got to actually like meet a person and know like get to know about them. Unless you like a diehard, Washington Commanders fan or something like that, that's probably gonna be a no go. Nightclub, bowling. What's wrong with bowling? Somewhere that requires a long drive. I don't want to do that either. I don't need first date. I wouldn't even know. I don't even know if I really like you for real. I damn sure don't want to be in a car with you for no hours. Movie night at home. I like that. Family function. That's definitely a no. Ice cream date. I don't know. I think it's a good idea in the summertime, but I don't know here. Black folks, we lactose intolerant, so that could be a disaster. Coffee date, Starbucks, church. Oh nah, man. Church is good if you like older and not a heathen, but like young single me, nah. I did go to church to pray though. Prey, pray. What else they got? The gym. I don't even like going to the gym with my wife, so that's probably going to be a no. I don't like going to the gym with my wife because we do different exercises. Like, okay, if DFD wanted to have a snatched up waist and some nice strong glutes, then it would be fine. But no, my wife gonna want to do squats and go on a treadmill. I'm not trying to do all of that stuff. But it's crazy that we growing up in this society, we coming up in this society, or society just took a pivot to now it's all about me, what I want, what I want, what I want. I thought that was interesting and dumb as hell, that list. So I'm assuming the creators of the list probably don't got nowhere to go. They probably eating a Lunchable or a Hot Pocket right now as we speak. But yeah, that's it for this video. I think the only other thing from a finance point that I saw that people were talking about, what are y'all thoughts on the Secretary of Treasury essentially coming out saying that the U.S., we got enough money to fund 2 wars? Like, yeah, we just don't learn, do we? Like, I get it. As an ex-soldier, I know my guy Wolverine, a ex-vet out there. As an ex-soldier, okay, I understand the name of the game is you just take your marching orders and do what you're told. That's just kind of what it is. But as a civilian, I think it's a little bit wild to have 2 conflicts going on in the world that we are sending billions of dollars to fund. Now, I don't understand all of the specific political nuances and everything. And I understand there are some national security issues. I've been hearing the words access of evil, access of power, which immediately give me cause to pause because I think that's kind of sketch. This list won't age well. We're probably already in an economic depression. Layoffs are out of control. Shout out to Wallet Watch. Layoffs are out of control and still going. Soon these ladies will accept anything, including fast food. I don't know. Where did I take my wife to on our actual first date? That's a good question. She probably downstairs in the house. Let me see. She'll remember. I want to say Popeyes. I think it was Popeyes. Yo, what is wrong with her phone? Hey, I got a question to ask you. I'm on the live, so don't start talking all sexy to me. Where did we go? Where was the first place I took you when we started dating? They got a list of 28 places that women came up with that they don't want to go on a date. I was found at number 7 and 21. It was your house and watching movies. And I was like, where did we go the first time we went on a date? I want to say Popeyes, but am I making that up? I got a real one. DFD got a real one. It was Popeyes. Yep. All right. I just wanted to make sure my memory was good. Hey, that's it. I wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure my memory was accurate. All right, appreciate it. You here? Or you still out? Oh, okay. All right. Bye. Hey, Popeyes, man. I told y'all, man. Hey, so that was it. Hey, as a young I was probably in my early 20s, like 22 or 21 or something like that. But the first place I took Mrs. DFD was the Popeyes. I don't think y'all understand though. It's context to that. I know y'all gonna be like, man, this dude cheap as hell. he took her out to Popeyes, but it's a context to that, and I gotta put it in context. Hey, what's up, TC? Yeah, I'm late to the show. I just tried to go to Red Lobster with the spouse, but he said too crowded. We ended up at the food court. Hey, it's nothing wrong with the food court. You gotta, hey, you like what you like. You know what I mean? But hey, Mrs. DFD just confirmed, because I couldn't remember. I thought that was it. But she confirmed that, hey, the first date I took her on was the Popeyes. Now, let me explain, okay? We went to places different than Popeyes, okay? After that, okay? And I actually asked her because I honestly couldn't remember. I was like, anytime we went out, did I ever ask her to pay for it? She was like, nah. Now she offered to pay sometimes, but generally I just paid because it wasn't a big deal. But let me explain Popeyes because y'all gonna be like DFD cheap as hell. I don't know how she took this dude. This dude got her a 2-piece and a thick ass biscuit. But this is the context, okay? We were overseas on a military base, and on that military base, it was really small. We only had one other place to go eat that wasn't the cafeteria or the DFAC, okay? You can either go to the dining facility, and the only other place, I mean, this base was so small, you can walk around it in maybe 30 minutes. It was a very small post. The only other place there was to eat on the post was you could go to the PX and buy some groceries and cook something. And I definitely wasn't doing that, cooking in the damn community kitchen. I ain't had time for that. Or Burger King. They had a Burger King there. And because that Burger King was there, you ended up eating this. You eat Burger King so much, it was just utterly disgusting. It was the worst. And so we would drive like 20 minutes to the next base over because the next base over, they had all sorts of pizza, Popeyes, everything. And this was the only Popeyes in Germany. I've never seen a Popeyes. People in Germany, they must know like chicken because I've never seen, or they like good chicken, one of the two. But it was no Popeyes anywhere except this one. And your boy used to love the red beans and rice. So, hey, someone who's there and you eating Burger King all the time, but dining hall food, I was like, I'm in the mood for Popeyes. You want to go to Popeyes? And so that was kind of how our unofficial first date went. It was Popeyes. Don't judge me. Yeah, damn, Popeyes. And that was before the famous Popeyes chicken sandwich. Hey, but I'm a good guy though. Like, hey, I was like, get whatever you want off this menu. You could get spicy, regular, 2 biscuits. You can get a large soda. You can get an apple pie, like slaw. Whatever it is you want, you can get off this menu. That was an affordable meal. Yeah, it'd be some good food at the food court. I agree, man. You can't be too proud. Best part of the food court is the people watching. It makes for great conversation. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Especially you see some wild stuff depending on where you at the food court. It could get a little crazy. It's just the first date. Why would you go all out on a person you don't even know and ain't promised to be with you anyway? You're supposed to be getting to know each other and working your way up. And that's my point completely. It's a first date. You got to be realistic. Me and my wife went to this restaurant. I think it was the Oceaneer. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this restaurant. It's called the Oceaneer. I hate seafood. I'm not a seafood guy. My wife loves seafood. So I was like, hey, let's go to this seafood place. And you can't even go in and just wear regular clothes. Like you can't wear like jeans and tennis shoes. So we go there, right? And this place was, you talk about for us two having a general meal and some drinks, you talk about spending about $300 to $350 for the meal, the drinks, and the tip. So it's somewhere around $300 to $350 in that price range, right? And so we're there, and there was a guy and a girl who was sitting next to us. Young couple, young brother and a young sister, right? And I don't know how we started talking. Y'all clearly know I like to talk, right? So if someone is sitting next to me, some way or another, a conversation might get sparked up. I don't know if it was because they looked at what we ordered or something like that. But somehow a conversation got started, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious because when we talked to them, the first thing we found out was this was their very first date, right? And it was funny because as soon as this couple said like, "Yo, this is our very first date," we was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I was like, my comment was, "Damn, bro, you setting the bar a little bit high. We've been married for 16 years. You setting the bar a little bit high." And they bust out laughing. But I was dead ass serious. It was a joke, but I was dead ass serious. I like a $350. I don't know. I feel like that's like, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I know inflation makes things more expensive, but I feel like that's a little crazy. A place where you talk about spending 350, maybe $400 on a bill at a place. Now I will tell you, I don't know. I I will tell you, when we went to, they didn't order anything on the restaurant that was super expensive. So their bill probably wasn't 350. It probably was a little bit lower. But maybe they had some agreement or discussion on the front end. But he took it at expensive ass highfalutin restaurant, and I thought that was wild. He said, "Your TI, you can have whatever you like." Yeah, I was like, you can have whatever you like. Fried chicken, desserts, high cholesterol. You can get it all. You can get it all from Popeyes. 11 herbs and spices. Yep, yep, yeah. The oyster, yeah. My wife loves oyster. I don't like them slimy shits, but yeah, she loves them. And so we went to, was it the Hell's Kitchen that they opened down at the harbor, and they had a nice little oyster set up. But like we got 16 years in, so I could go somewhere and spend a large amount of money on my wife because she deserved it. Marcus, you see the story about the guy who took the lady on the first date and she started the meal with 4 dozen oysters and she ordered a main and drinks and he went to the bathroom and didn't return. Yeah, my boy Wolverine actually sent me the clip. The bill was just over $300 for just her food order alone. that's that's crazy. The oyster story was hilarious. Shorty was when I saw the video, all I heard, all I, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess, yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, that's not. Here's Ophelia's $1 oysters happy hour. I think that's the name. Okay, damn, that's good. Oh, my wife will have a ball up in there. I don't know. Like, do people go out on dates just for drinks though? I think that's kind of wild. Like, I don't know. Like, anytime I said, "Yo, let's go grab a drink," it was never in the context of like a date. I think that's kind of wild. Like me personally, anytime I say like, if I say like, "Yo, one of my boys, I ain't seen him in a while," I'm like, "Yo, let's go catch a drink. Let's grab a drink somewhere." Like, I personally never just been like, "Hey, I just want to take you out for drinks." Like, who go out to drink? I think that's kind of crazy to go out for drinks. I don't know. Is that a thing that they doing in 2023? I don't know. I feel like that's a little weird to just go straight out for drinks. Cause I don't know. Like, I don't want to go out for drinks and not eat something. Cause if I go out for drinks, damn it, I guess we drinking. So I'm a drink. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. Also, Oyster video was insane. She knew she was doing too much. Dude was a gentleman though. I think the guy in that oyster video was a real gentleman because he actually texted her afterwards and offered to cash app her the money for his drink. I wouldn't have texted her anything. I would have texted her anything. I was like, "Nah, you order 85,000 oysters. You can, hey, go ahead and pay for that drink bill as well." But I'm gonna just be honest. In that video, we couldn't see who the persons or the people were, but we can hear who the persons and the people, how they sounded. And I'm just going to tell you, okay, I don't want to make any assumptions about anybody, but from the way that sister was talking, I'd have left too. Okay. Like, I was like, she sounded like Gangsta Boo from 3 6 Mafia. I was like, nope. So, like, hey, I don't blame that guy for kind of dipping out like that. But I do think it's wild to go on a date I'm gonna have to check that out. It's Ophelia's by Navy Yard. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, that's some place that my wife will go. Like it's been times where like I took my wife places she wanted to go, and I won't order nothing because I don't want any of the stuff off the menu. Like I don't want anything. I'll order something like give me a salad and whatever. I just get something on the way home from some other place or something like that. Because sometimes I just take her places. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, that's what they say, man. Oysters are supposed to be an aphrodisiac. I didn't find that out till I was in the military. But yeah, oysters are supposed to be an aphrodisiac. She was ready, all right. She was ready to run in his wallet. It is a date, not an all you can eat invite. Or all you can eat go to a buffet, probably on a list of 28 numbers. No, no, women aren't going to buffets. Like, nah, like especially like post COVID, like I don't know, like even I'm sketchy about buffet. I tell you though, the best meal I ever had and the most expensive meal I ever had, it was in Miami. Yeah, I mean, no, the place probably wasn't like super luxurious, but it was in Miami. I was about to say Zatania, but that's a spot I go to in DC. It was something else. It had like a Z or a V in the name, and it was on the ground floor of a hotel, right? And this was pre-pandemic. They had a it was weird because they had a all you can eat bar where the people were cooking the stuff and just putting it on right there. But you also got a menu and you could order like a 3 or 4 course meal. And that bill was expensive as hell. That bill was so damn expensive. My wife was like, "Don't worry about it." She took the bill, was like, "Don't worry about it. I got it." And she just pulled out a big ass wad of cash. And she was paying, and she was like, "Oh, I had just enough." And she put all the cash down, and I'm like, man, that food was good as hell. The service was great. Like, hey, like, hey, I don't want to say this, but I knew the food was going to be good and the service was going to be good because, like, we was the only black people in there. It was nothing but like old ass white people, like in their 60s or 70s. This was like the middle of a day on like a Wednesday. So I was like, oh man, this is a highfalutin place, and it was a highfalutin place. But she just pulled out this wad of cash and paid it off. Didn't say anything about the price. And we were just talking about it later. And I was like, man, that food was so good. I'm about to go home. I'm about to go back and take a nap and go to sleep. And I was like, yeah, how much did you pay? She was like, yeah, I had enough for the tip and everything. And I think it was like, I want to say it was like $500. And I had no clue. I had no clue that the place was this expensive. So like when I go out to a real restaurant and I want to do stuff afterwards because I'm old, I'd be like, I learned this. I do what you're supposed to do. I get a coffee afterwards, drink some coffee. I was getting coffee and ordering all sorts of crazy stuff, thinking that it was gonna be 300 something dollars. And that thing was like 500, $550. It was something asinine. And when she told me, she was smart to keep it from me because why the hell we pay that much? We could have went to 2 places for that much. Like, yeah, that was expensive ass bill. It was a good ass meal. It was probably the best meal I've ever had and the best service I ever had. But yeah, had she told me in advance, we damn sure wouldn't have went that. Yep, that's what it was. It was when I ordered them truffles, and I didn't know that truffles were found at the bottom of the ocean by Jacques Cousteau. I saw the oyster girl. She was a good looking. Hey, she was a good looking chick, but that's just kind of disrespectful, right? Like, I just feel like that's just a conversation. Like, yo, we going out to drinks. Ladies, have y'all ever been on a date where somebody said, let's go get drinks, and all y'all do is sit at the bar and talk and drink, and nobody don't order no fries, no chicken tenders. You don't order nothing to eat. I don't know. I think that's weird as hell. Like, I think that's kind of I think it's weird in both parts. I think it's weird to expect to go out for drinks and not get any damn food. But I also think it's weird to go out on a date and eat 67,000 goddamn oysters and expect somebody to pay for them without a conversation. So I think both of them get a Goofy of the Year award on that one. I can't stand the buffet, but after having a family, we will all be in them buffets. Now that my kids are grown, I'm not going back. No more standing buffets. Yeah, you know what I used to always do? I used to always like as a veteran, I used to always capitalize on my Veterans Day discounts, and like I would always go to Golden Corral because veterans eat free, and I'd be in that man. Me and my wife would be sitting in that joint for hours. So yeah, kids, go ahead back up there, dip some more of them strawberries in that chocolate fountain. Because the kids didn't cost nothing. You just paying for the kids. But yeah, generally, I'm not a yeah. It's been years, like maybe I probably ain't been to a buffet since like 2016 or 17. But yeah, the right buffet slap. I've been to a couple of buffets that slap. Now it's just kind of gross. Like even now when I'm in the food court, like what's disgusting as hell? Like the person in the food court sitting out there with a tray and a toothpick, sticking food like free sample, free sample. Man, I don't want that old ass lo mein noodles that you've been just holding out there. But that's kind of crazy. I think that's kind of crazy. I had the rule of never having drinks on the first date, or even the first few dates. I prefer to maintain my cognitive abilities. Okay, all right. So, hey. Long as you know what your vulnerabilities are, you know what I mean. Like you, like, woo. After one fuzzy navel, ooh, it's getting hot in here. Hey, long as you know and are aware of your cognitives, I think. Hold on, I think I went on one. It wasn't a date per se, but I remember going to a bar. This was young DFD pre-merge, so I could tell this story, right? I remember going to the bar and I met this young lady at a bar. And I was like, okay, like she was probably one of the two women in my life that I ever bought a drink at the bar. DFD, hey, I got strict rules that I have to adhere to, okay? And so I was like, hey, you want to get some drinks? We can get some drinks going. And somehow the topic of who can outdrink who came up, right? And I was like, hey, hey, your boy back in the day, now I'm weak as hell. But back in the day, hey, I used to throw him down with the best of them. Man, let me tell you. By the time I lift my head up from that bar, she was gone and the bill was right there. And I was like, I guess she won. But that was like the only time where like I actually sat down and only had drinks. But I think that wasn't like a date. We just kind of met up right there and just kind of created this little crazy bet where the loser had to pay the tab, and I ended up having to pay the tab. But yeah, you got to know your own things. Bottom line is, hey, you can't be like dates are meant to like. I think the worst place you could go on a date is like the movies. Like going to the movies, I think for me is a bad date because I'm not gonna learn anything about you except maybe you get scared easy as hell or you laugh. You got an ugly ass laugh, something like that. So for me, like the movies was always a bad date because I didn't really get to know a person. But like, yo, a dope date, like, hey, what's wrong with going to like I go to Dave and Buster's on a date? I think that's fun as hell. And I'd be mad as shit if you beat me in anything. But like, people too uptight, and that's why most people who created that list are single in hell. But far as that list goes, hey, shout out to Cheesecake Factory. This is probably the best publicity that they are ever gonna get in their life. All because like, yo, if I was actually a company, if I was like Applebee's or something, I would like pay two of my employees to start a bogus viral video about how somebody spazzing out because they don't want no damn Applebee's on a date. Like, yo, free publicity is always good. Yo, but that's it for this video. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Tomorrow, hey, I had to do a live on this one because this is interesting. I just did a video where I talked about Jay Morrison and the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and how it was a failing investment. Hey, Dr. Boyce Watkins actually did an interview this week where he addressed the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Boyce Watkins got a bunch of flack because he's a finance PhD who has financial content, real pro-black. And he was one of the very first people when the Tulsa Real Estate Fund got started that stood in front of a bunch of people and touted how good of an investment this is going to be for black people and how Jay Morrison did his due diligence. Now that real estate fund went from having $11.5 million in assets to less than $1 million in assets. Boyce Watkins got called to the table. They called him to the front. They're like, hey, we got to talk about it. And this is his first time actually talking about it. And I saw that interview, and y'all see, if y'all see the thumbnail, I didn't do the thumbnail up, but I got a thumbnail up, a generic thumbnail, is Dr. Boyce Watkins explains why you should not take investment advice from people on social media. I'm going to break that video down tomorrow. We're going to watch that video. I'm going to give my take, and I'm going to give, hey, so it's going to be a wild video. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Hey, as always, I appreciate y'all for the support. I love y'all. If there's anything y'all want to talk about or want to take on, hey, hit me up, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. Hey, I touch bases on it. I talk about it because I want to make sure that y'all getting some value and some infotainment from what I'm doing over here. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Peace.